Right, hello everybody, this is Fibro Jedi, aka LOTRO Family, and this is the third episode in my new Warden series as we learn, including myself, how to get Warden up and running. Hopefully you'll join me through this one. We'll carry on doing the pre-burning of Archet storyline and pick up anything to do with Gambits as we progress. Still got this annoying cold, so I'll keep this as a very, almost like a stream version of a YouTube series, as relaxed as possible. Okay, so just to quickly recap, Wardens are medium armour. Apart from the fact they don't hold a bow, they use javelin instead for the ranged weapon. The stats are in the same order as the hunter, so you want to focus on agility and vitality. And then the rest is subjective depending on what you want to focus on. So we'll be joining Lamuna now, and we'll go into the pre-burning of Archet stories, and we'll pick up where we left off last time. Excuse the sniffing, I don't know why I can't shake this cold. Right, here we go. So, Cal Sprigley. Where we're at before is that no one believes you that the Blackwolds are going to be attacking Archet.
Our best hope is to get help from Combe, our neighbours. They will not let Archet fall to brigands.
So, I'm glad you're here. Some Blackwolds tried to attack us this morning, but we drove them off. We must get help from Combe, the next town over. It's southwest of here and not more than a short journey away. They must bring their soldiers to Archet at once to help stave off the raid. Please, make haste. I fear the Blackwolds might mean to attack tonight. The road here is crawling with brigands, but I pray you can make it safe to Combe. Ah, of course, you finally... Yeah, you have learnt that it's a real threat, so we're trying to work out whether it's too late or not.
Would you do something for me?
Maybe. Will Wheatley. My dad and the other farmhands, they gave chase to the brigands after the attack on our farm. I don't think the brigands expected us to put up such a fight after they surprised us. There weren't many of them, but I never saw them act so bold afore today. Only problem is they ain't back yet. They ran off to the east, chasing the brigands into the woods. It was hours ago, though, and I'm very worried. Could you go look for them and bring them back? Still looking for Walt Wheatley, Bill Hayspear, great name, and Thornton Woodley. Courageous farmhands. So... Oh yes, and we're still, from last time, looking at collecting boar meat. So we still want 2 more piggies. Here we go then. Didn't get a chance to use the second Gambit ability in there, so it'll stop as soon as it started. Yeah, here we go. There we go. What did we trigger there? Oh, I've changed into the ranged assailment stance into the fray. I forgot I had switched stance. Okay, so we've now got the boar meat for that one. So we can now look for the courageous farmhands. Oh yes, we're making that disgusting tea, aren't we, to try and help Amdir feel better. That's what I was expecting. I think I'm going to be an into the fray kind of warden. Although it's helpful, I suppose, to be able to chuck your javelin. It's this one, isn't it? Okay, I didn't mean to kill it in one shot, but I'm 2 levels over the mob, so I shouldn't really be surprised. So... Now, I suspect when it comes around to doing the deeds, the class deeds for Warden, I will have to force myself to do both stances, and indeed a variety of Gambits. You see we've got some healing over time there, which is my risk aversion kicking in. Okay, Thornton Woodley. Examining lifeless body. It's lifeless. Thornton Woodley has been murdered by Blackwolds. And we still need the bilberry tea. I'm going to put on floaty names. Because Archet doesn't go dark in this kind of instance version, I find it harder to find the flashing thingies. Although, having said that, I've just spotted one over there. But... ah, bilberry bush. Did Hobbits have that round and round the bilberry bush instead of mulberry bush song? Maybe. Build hay spear. Oh look, there's a Blackwold here. Let's kill off said Blackwold, shall we? That's not bad going. I think I lost about 5 health in that because I'd used the defense healing gambits. And that was a on level mob as well. And given that you can't overgear yourself in this instance, I suppose you could technically over level, but what's the point? Right. I do like pre-burning Archet. It's very pretty. I mean, even post, it's pretty, but it feels a bit more like Bree before Archet falls. Right, I don't need floaty names on now because I have found all the bilberry tea. Oh, hang on, we're missing Walt Wheatley. Ooh, where's Walt Wheatley? Oh, pants need to cross over the river again. That's okay. So we didn't actually gain any abilities at all in the first few levels. But given that I need to start using a variety of gambits instead of getting into the same pattern all the time. Like that one, for example, where you... what's that one? It adds block rating and partial block chance, and that was just doing 2 of the quick thrusts. So although you don't get the self-healing, you do have more defences. So I've got to remember that, because it's not always about healing over time. If you can prevent damage, that's just as good as... The one thing I've got to remember though is they have slight... you've got slight cooldown times in the abilities. And we have found Walt Wheatley. So although it is at this level button mashing on the one hand, you got to wait for it to cool down. So if you watch with number 1 here, you've got to wait for it to become available, and then you can use your... You think you're winning this fight? Just wait and see. Wait, I'm dead. Cool down 1 second. Yeah, even the Gambit default is a cooldown 1 second. The marked target has a cooldown of 18 seconds, but it has a lot of damage. That's why that's why the pig died straight away. Right, so the only thing we haven't done so far is we need to go back to put in... Oops, a daisy, I'm not looking where I'm walking. To talk about the fact that the farmhands didn't make it. And then we need to go to Archet's gate to see if we can get help from Combe. That's it. Given I've played this so much, you'll have to excuse the short-term memory loss I have. Why is it not loss? I just don't remember stuff in the way I feel like I ought to. Oh, interestingly, that works both way rounds. Ah, okay, so that persevere, the block rating... Yes, that one, how it works with... I just experimented with that, so sorry, thinking out loud. That I did the quick thrust followed by the shield bash, and it triggered the same gambit as if I'd done shield bash and then thrust. So, if I go into skills Gambits, I still got Persevere. So although it says it's in this order, the shield bash plus the thrust, it doesn't actually matter which way round it is, in this case. It might when we do 5 abilities, I don't know, but it's got a while till we get there. What I haven't done is any of the Warden's taunts, and I really should experiment with those. I really wish I could get rid of this cold. It would really help with videos just being slightly more polished. Never mind, eh?
What can I do for you?
No, it cannot be. My poor father and the others. No, it cannot. It cannot. Will is silent for a long moment, his eyes closed. But after a great pause he is roused. I will have my revenge upon those Blackwolds, or I will die trying. Archet will never fall to such murderous fiends. Right, what do we get the option of here? Technically you can actually use a sword. I just quite like having a spear plus a javelin, just something different. Honed spear. 7 to 12. Woohoo! 1 extra DPS. Well, not even that, is it? 1 extra common damage if you're lucky. Parry chance. I think I'm going to stick with spear and javelin for now. I might experiment. You seem to be able to have quite a choice of weapons for your melee weapon. We shall see. Right, okay. Let's say I don't remember any gear falling from pre-burning Archet. We may as well get rid of that lot, actually. This is how my brain works when I'm gaming.
How can I be of service?
Oh look, I need to do this thing. Oh wait, I didn't do the previous thing. Better go back. Hey, at least you know I'm not, you know, pre-scripting these things. Okay. So you can see you can really enjoy this is a really nice starter area. It's not huge, good because you have to walk everywhere, of course, but it's just so green and lush. Okay, so we're coming up to Archet Gate to attempt to get help from Combe. Yeah, of course, this doesn't look like any help is coming. What do you think? Haha! Do you want help? Do you want the people of Combe to help you? You're afraid of Blackwolds, aren't you? I'm kind of blocking us. Best run home, little fool. Enjoy your day. It'll be your last. Is that the last thing they're going to say? Yep, looks like it. Return to Cal Sprigley with your dire news. Oh look, back to the farm. The end of the world is nigh. Right. Hop.
This cannot be.
Blocked.
I must write to Brackenbrook at once.
Right to Brackenbrook. You'd be better running to him. No, it cannot be. My men travelled to Combe only yesterday for delivery. That is bad news, Lamuna. The captain must be informed of what's going on at once. Here is a note for the Brackenbrooks. He knows my scrawl. He'll believe you now. Unlike when I had to deliver a note from Aragorn on a completely different character to... I'll just get rid of this Blackwold just because he should die. To people in Evandon So I delivered this note from Aragorn's people in Evandom, and they were like, "You can forge this note." Yeah, like I put myself in danger of the Rangers, Wardens of Numinas, just by pretending to be from Aragorn, because that's a good life strategy, isn't it? Okay, so if we're gonna get attacked by Archet, role-playing, attacked by Blackwolds in Archet, role-playing, let's kill out some of the ones that are already here, shall we? There we go. Because, you know, why not? Yeah. It's quite a good range on that spear throwing. Although I remember there being memes about the Lord of the Rings films and Legolas has finally run out of arrows. Like, you have one javelin here and you can just keep throwing it and throwing it and throwing it. So let's just say it's an enchanted javelin, a boomer javelin. It comes back to you once you've thrown it. Oh, my brain. How does it work? Okay, so we'll get back to Archet. And we'll soon have to do the closing instance, I think. Although, we may have to go to the hunting lodge. I'm trying to remember when that bit kicks in. It might be after the burning Archet, actually. It has been a while since I did this intro. The last one I did was High Elf. Okay, so... oh yes, it was this hungry hobbit that wants us to kill the boars, wasn't it?
This will do nicely. It gives me something to munch on for a bit, at least.
Hooray, you brought me pork, or bacon, or perhaps sausage. Oh, it doesn't matter, I can make a little of each. Well, that's because I killed you 4 whole pigs. Mundo weighs the parcel of meats in his hands. This will give me something to munch on for a bit. Hopefully this provender will last me until I can go back home. Copper band, 1 vitality. Ooh, the stats are overwhelming, aren't they? Right, then. So this is the bilberry tea, isn't it? This poor brandy buck.
Lovely. This is sure to cheer Amdir right up.
Well done. You have found more than enough for a good strong tea. This is sure to cheer Amdir right up. Give me a moment, and I will steep the berries in some boiling water. Now then, if you're new to LOTRO, I will carry on saying LOTRO, it's just the way I've always said it. Your gift from this one is fried mushrooms, so these are foods that you can eat that temporarily boost your stats. So, if you remember back then, for the Warden, agility is your main stat, because it improves your abilities when using physical weapons, which you are with all of them. It adds a bit to your critical rating, to your parry and evade rating, so you need agility for that. For a lot of the other classes, agility is mostly around the evade and the critical. But it means if you want a temporary boost, so this one you see boost it for 20 minutes. And you get 5 mushrooms. Apparently mushrooms make you more agile, go figure. Okay, let's get this.
This tea will help Amdir feel better. I just know it.
Oh, I'm sure you do. Okay, make sure that Amdir drinks the bilberry tea. Make sure he does. Force him to drink it. Open your mouth. Doesn't the bilberry tea smell delightful? It still reminds me of my Gamma, who made this for me when I was under the weather, even though my Gamma is long gone. You were such a dear to collect those wild berries for me, so I shan't be taking all the credit. Why don't you bring this nice brew to Amdir so he can thank you himself? You make sure he drinks it all up. Yes. Yep, this looks like a guy who a cup of tea will solve everything.
I thank you, but I have not the stomach to drink this now.
Does that tea smell of bilberries? That was very sweet of Celandine, and very good of you to fetch her the makings. I'm all the sorrier for I cannot drink this now. I do not feel well enough just now. I will pretend to drink it. You must tell Celandine I enjoyed her tea. Please do not let her know that her kindness was wasted on me. Amdir only pretends to drink the tea, before he looks even paler than before.
Did my tea perk him up? I knew it would.
Bilberry always fixes me right up. And I know it would be specially sweet if it came from both of us, Lamuno. I know, and dear will be back on his feet soon. He is so brave. And an old ring. We'll come to traits later. I don't think you get any points at this stage. Ah, specialization needed. Aha! So, hadn't thought about this. You don't have to until this point. So, the reason I say aha is that under your skills and Gambit, let me close the character panel so there's not too many panels open here. So, see here we've got Recklessness Gambits, and Determination Gambits, and Assailment Gambits. So, the reason I didn't understand why they were grouped like that is that that is actually the 3 trait trees that you can choose. So, Determination, Recklessness, and Assailment. So, what can we do here then? Sorry, the phone's ringing downstairs, which really distracted me. So, we got Determination, which is a tanking stance by the look of it. Wield, Shield, and Fist to protect allies from harm. What? Go in and punch those enemies. I'm sure that'll really work on the orcs. A tanking build which boosts defences while healing, able to survive attacks from many foes at once. Although having said that, that's quite a beneficial stance, even as a solo player. But will take you ages to kill anything, I suspect. 25% healing potency, 5% spear gambit damage. Gambit builders build a stacking partial block, parry, and evade buff. Yeah, so you can survive a lot, but damage. Right, so Recklessness, running screaming, ah! Wields deadly warlike techniques to defeat foes. Okay, maybe not just screaming. A powerful damaging build that stacks single target bleeds with the potential for sweeping area of effect blows. So if you're new to LOTRO, again, AoE really should have been put as the full explanation here for newer players. Is just when you can hit a number of foes within a given area. So if you've got a sword and you can swing it around in a circle, any enemies caught in that circle, or some of those enemies at least, could be hit by it. That's area of effect. Bleeds tend to be damage over time, which means you cut someone, they gradually bleed over time rather than it just being an instant hit to health. So it can be a way of wearing your enemy out over time without necessarily having to keep hitting them. So that's what the DOT here, dots, damage over time, stands for. It's only when you start reading these things out loud you realise how much terminology newer players have to cope with. So you get a shield piercer here. Special javelins will pierce a defender's shield and bend, making the javelin difficult to remove. And the shield nearly useless. Interesting. Oh, defender's shield. So 5% warden damage over time. Damage. Yeah, obviously. Excuse me. 10% quicker attack duration. Less outgoing healing modifier. Because you're focusing more on damage than healing. Okay. So Assailment wields javelin and clever tactics to harm and hinder foes. A ranged support line that debuffs enemies while dealing significant damage from afar. Useful when fighting either alone or in a fellowship. 5% ranged damage, plus 24 critical rating. Gambit builders build stacking range damage buff, max of 4.5%. Gain the skill improved hampering javelin. So you can set caltrops, which are like spiky things you throw on the ground. There we go. That's the technical terminology. So it might be good to have a quick look. I know this is not exactly visually appealing. So, if we have a look at here, sharpened spears, 10% spear damage, 15% to trigger Gambit builder bonuses. These are abilities you get as you gain more trait points. So this is when it says here you need 15 more ranks to earn this, is how many points you need before you can get it. I'm not going to know which one to go for. We might have to try more than one. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to deal with the trapping thing. And I can't do Trapper Hunter. It's just my brain can't get around it. I think I'm just used to going in and going, die! Rather than, I'm going to set this clever trap. Oh, lovely. Yes, so do I go for a tanking spec? Do you know what? I'm tempted to go for a tanking spec. I know it will mean longer fights, but I'm not sure I want less healing. Gambit builders build stacking melee damage. I keep catching my microphone, so apologise for that. So what is the tanking spec here? 20% morale tap damage. Shield mastery grants access which enhances your avoidances. Yeah, you know what? I haven't. I know this will mean fights take longer, but I have never gone fully risk averse. Even my guardian is a yellow line guardian. I think I'm going to try tanking spec. Let's go for that for now. Okay. So, that was determination gambits? I've already got to check. Was it determined? Yes, so now actually we do have to consider. I'm going to, although you can still do some of those, I suspect, this is what matters when you're going for this. So, defensive strike, goad. I should attempt now to use my Warden's Taunt more. So, I will have to, before episode 4, rearrange my UI. But we've now gained 2 new abilities here. Hampering Javelin range skill. Javelins can pierce body parts or equipment and slow the target until a javelin can be removed. 30% target run speed reduction. Cooldown 20 seconds. Warning shot, a powerful toss which weakens your target's resolve, lowering their attack damage for a short time. So it deals 16 to 23 damage initially, and reduces currently their attack damage by 5% for 10 seconds. That's quite a long time, certainly for the initial fights. So we should attempt to use Warden's Taunt a little bit more. But it means I can go in with my shield bash, and that is perfectly acceptable. So, cool. That took a bit longer to explain, because that was the first time I've come across it. Right. And I suspect now we need to go and finish this off.
What have I done?
As Brackenbrook reads the letter from Cal Sprigley, his face is blank. He reads it a second time, and only then does he look at you. I have been a fool. What have I done? Yes, quite. Okay, so medium armor, ragged leather trousers.
You cannot fathom just how wrong I have been.
I have trusted Calder Cobb and heeded his advice for a long time, even after my own son tried to warn me of his duplicity. My son John is a worthy hunter, but he has not set foot in this town for over 3 years. He will never forgive me for the things I said to him. Oh, what a fool I am. And I told him he was not welcome in Archet until he stopped behaving like a jealous child. Now he and his hunters are our only hope. But, excuse me, what can I do? He does not deserve to be dragged deeper into my folly. Nay, Archet must withstand this storm without help. Didn't mean to neigh like a horse. My throat is tickly. I should have brought another drink. So, we need to put this ring on, because that's one might at least, and might for the Warden increases physical mastery, block rating, and parry rating, which will matter a bit more now as a tank. So we will need to consider that later. Right. Brackenbrook is hopeless. You should ask Strider what to do.
Do not despair. You have done well.
Indeed, better than I could have done. You earned Captain Brackenbrook's trust. You must appeal to his son John against his wishes. I must leave soon, and Archet will need all the help it can get, even if a father's pride is at stake. I am confident you'll be able to bring the hunters in and give this town a fighting chance. In the meantime, I must make haste. Amdir assures me he just needs rest. Right, I thought we had to go to the hunting lodge. Wasn't sure, but that's over here, so technically we could have gone out that gate, but I don't fancy running through all the spiders that are around the back of Archet. So yes, we will need to consider block rating, parry rating, which might mean I also will need to think about changing the main weapon for this, and maybe go on to a sword. Although that'll make me look more like a guardian, so I'll see if I can still do the tanking stuff with a spear. I'd rather do a spear, because we'll get around to crafting in episode 4. Crafting for the Warden. Why does everything seem to take so long when you have to run everywhere? Just enjoy the journey. See? It's still sunny, even if doom is on the way. So, let's go to the hunting lodge. I think it's here where there is, if you are a new player to LOTRO, it's helpful to do just for completeness of story, but once you've done it a couple of times, there's really no need. You have an encounter, basically a one-man instance that doesn't involve any fighting or interaction or anything with Galadriel. Galadriel, probably. Not very good with my pronunciations. Right, we do have to go into the lodge, which is what I thought. Yeah, so this guy will eventually get you to try and sleep on the bedroll. We won't do that, and there's no XP for it, so there's no incentive. But if you are a new player to LOTRO, then do that quest. At least do it once on one character, just so you have everything. Right.
I presume you're here to bring me ill news from town.
Yeah, because there's never good news from town. You come from town, do you? I've been watching from the bounds. The skies have turned dark and fell, and there is a shadow of unrest over all of Archet, over men and beasts and trees alike. Let me guess. My father has not the wisdom to observe such things. So you heard of his exiled son and came to me for aid. Come then, out with it. I desire to hear what you have to tell.
Calder Carl has shown his true colours at last.
I knew him to be evil-hearted, but my father is too trusting. He does not like to think ill of people. His blindness wounded me, but he is a good man. So, to answer your question, yes, I will come to Archet's aid, I and my fellows. I am a hunter and a skilled warrior, trained by my father and captain, and I would rather die than sit idly by while foul brigands crash upon a decent people. Let us see what there is to see before the storm is upon us. While I gather my warriors and my weapons, you should sneak into the Blackwolds' roost and uncover their plan of attack for tonight. So we need to defeat brigands to thin their ranks, and gather information about the intended Blackwold raid. Okay, we got some extra shoulder pads there. the gear at this stage is hardly what you call attractive, and so the sooner you can get into putting your own outfits together, the better. Events are good for that if you're new to LOTRO, and we should have in the next 2 or 3 months Spring Festival and the Anniversary Festival, and then you can make cosmetic outfits. Cosmetic meaning it doesn't have any bearing on your stats, but it changes your actual appearance. Right, so we need to go and kill some Blackwolds. Yay! And also find information. So there is a ring here, so I suspect that's where the information is. I say I did it so long ago, I don't really remember. I will rearrange my UI before attempting to record episode 4 because I want to get into a certain habit of abilities being in the same place and with the same key bindings. I certainly, in the other MMO I play, find my tanks easier to play with knowing all the abilities are in the same place. Yay. Right, I don't want to use any of these ranged ones because I want to get used to Gambits, because these will basically kill these Blackwolds in 1 or 2 strikes, so... Ooh, I'm intrigued. What was that Gambit? Oh, that was the goad. The 9 light damage initially and 9 light damage for every 4 seconds. I don't think I managed to trigger the Gambit, which is my own fault. But we did trigger a partial block chance and parry rating from using goad. A lot of screaming. It sounds a bit more warlike than when he had the Guardian Hobbit, which is what Lamuna used to be. Quite like the fact that even as a tank you get a damage over time ability. There we go, we defeated 3 Blackwall Brigands and didn't get to use my defensive strike. Probably be better once we get some higher level foes to practice on. Ah! Yeah, I didn't trigger the... I keep pressing number 1, which is not handy in this particular instance. So I've got to remember to go for number 3, although that may change when I rearrange my UI. Because I keep forgetting to actually use the actual purposeful Gambit that triggers, like that one, for example, there. So yes, I had a devastated hit there, but now I've got my... Or I did have my healing over time. I'm not making it any closer to their headquarters here. I'm just sort of slaughtering Blackwolds for fun. Oh, what was that? Ah, that was my kick. What triggered that Gambit? That's something that's going to be helpful to note. So... Did that come from... Ah, ranged boot. So you can trigger... These are still Gambits you're allowed to use even if you're not on that trait tree. So I did a... Which one did I hit? I got a ranged boot in there. A ranged strike with a chance to stun and interrupt the enemy. How on earth is using a boot ranged? Right, anyway, let's go and find the information about the Blackwold attack before this episode takes about 3 hours to record. I've been sorely tempted to roll another Warden to just play it, but I think that would take something away from from the video series, so I'm resisting temptation as things currently stand, at least. So although I want to go into the fray, I suspect later we'll have some trait points that can be earned by doing class deeds with the help of Angmar. Angmar, Angmar everywhere. Right, so we need to go back to the hunting lodge before I randomly run to Archet, assuming that's where I need to go, because I would be wrong. Okay, we've got some... I should probably put these up here as well for now. The ability to restore some power and health. See, as far as I know, we've got the ability to restore health over time as a warden, but we haven't yet got the ability to restore power over time, except through stats. So, Fate, is it? Yes, so Fate adds in-combat power regen. Wow, 18 Fate. 270 power regen. We might not need that for a while. That's quite a high ratio. 13, what was that, 13 points of... 18 points of Fate gives you 270 points to in-combat power regen. And 27 to in-combat morale regen. But that's fine because you have Gambits that restore health, so... I suspect we can get higher levels and fighting larger groups of mobs that we will have to carefully consider power regen. That's a guess. I know I've had to consider that with my Guardian. Right, so, we've killed a few people. Yay.
Good work, my friend.
Good work, Lumina, and fast too. This will be a great boon to Archet. Now we'll be able to counter their efforts with the proper strategy. Now you see, this one says, use to select an uncommon piece of might-based medium armour. And we're not wearing a helmet yet. But, given that
I believe there is hope for us yet. We only need a strategy.
We need agility and some might because of wanting to improve block rating. At least that's what I'm going to take the view of at the moment. Haha, of course it's not actually might-based medium armour at all, is it? No. You lied! It's just armour-based armour in this instrument. Usually it does have might in it, or combination of might and agility. Right, so, well-worn boots, what gives us the biggest armour improvement? That gives us 31, that gives us 14, 15, that gives us 40, 39, yeah. So, let's go for the jacket then, because that's the biggest improvement to armour. Cool. What an excellent find, Lamuna. These folk from Angmar sound like evil foes, but at least we know what we're up against. The plans also show a map that points to the Old East Path, which is just near here. We all avoid that path save for Alti Spiderbane, a visit from East Misty Mountains. Speak to Atli and learn what he can tell you about the path. We can use the path to our advantage if we manage to successfully scout it. Right, so I want to keep that before I carry on talking. When this quest comes up, this is the one with Galadriel. Do it at least on one character. Cool. In which case, because I want to keep these episodes to about 40 to 45 minutes. I thought we'd get to the burning of Archet in this one, but I was wrong. So, that's fine. So, I'll close episode 3 there. We took the tanking spec here, but we might later try out different ones. Determination. So focus on some self-healing and defensive methods, because I haven't done a proper blue line tank, even on my Guardian. And that's how we managed to match the skills here. The Gambit ones here, determination to each trait tree. So you just have to sort of play around with some of the Gambits to see what triggers what, and we worked out, or at least earlier, it did not matter which order these were in, so we managed to get Persevere with a quick thrust plus a shield bash, even though the icon says shield bash and thrust. Shield bash and thrust. Yes, sorry. Okay, you can get my pronunciation right in my head. And we killed a whole load of Blackwolds. So yay, job done. We'll come back for episode 4, where we will finish Archet however long it takes. Pre-burning down of Archet, that is. I plan to finish all the quests in and around Archet pre and post burning, and then we will have a bit more streamlined through the main epic stuff. So that's episode 3. Thank you for joining me. Please do follow me here on YouTube and on Twitter, either at FibroJedi and at LOTRO Family. So until episode 4, thanks for being here, and take care. Bye.